Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Transaction Care. My name is Lillian Hernandez, but you can call me Lily, like the flower, because we are learning and growing together. This is my very first live stream during the day. I'm sorry, in the morning. See, this is what happens when you. This is my very first live stream in the morning, and I just finished my morning routine, and we had an earthquake. First and foremost, San Francisco had an earthquake. I was writing in my journal and I was going through something in my head that I was having trouble processing last night. Not anything that had to do with my personal life, but just with my views and thoughts about a certain situation. I was journaling, and I just couldn't let it go. And while I'm journaling, as I'm trying to make another excuse for whatever I was going through, earthquake. And I was just like, okay, God, I'm letting it go. You got this. It actually wasn't that important. And I was trying to make nothing something. So letting it go. And as that was happening, I realized, okay, let me get back let me get to business. Let me get to work. I said I was going to go live. So here we are going live, and whew, let's get to work. So these morning streams, so it's 9 a.m. where I'm at. I'm located in California, Pacific Standard Time. And I told myself I'm going to challenge myself with going live even more because I go live every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please mark your calendars. But I realized if I want to reach more people that maybe they're working during those hours or they're away from their desk or they're just unable to attend the 4 p.m., there's always the replay. You can always watch the replay. But for those that are working early, around this time that want to watch my live streams or participate, ask questions, this is what that is for. These early sessions. And I actually tried to do this last week, but unfortunately, I went through a dental emergency. Long story short, I have bridges. Go watch my last live stream from Tuesday. I talked about the whole situation, but my bridges basically fell out and I was just left stunned. It's not the first time it's happened. So I was just in shock and I couldn't function because I was just so in disarray that I just was like, you know what? Everything is a wash this week. I'm just going to let it go. And whatever I need to do that doesn't require me to speak or talk, I'm going to do that this week and just let myself relax and we'll start fresh next week. So, because the live streams that didn't happen last week, this is my regroup for this week. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is because I know many of us go through ups and downs with our goals, our dreams, and we want them to happen so quickly, so fast. But that isn't always the case. You're always going to endure or have to endure or encounter trials, mountains, figuratively, literally, depending on who you are, what you're trying to accomplish. But you're going to have to endure the uncomfortable parts of this journey. You're going to have to endure the moments where you had a plan and unfortunately it just didn't hit the way you thought it would hit, and you thought it was going to flow a little easier and it just doesn't. And last week was one of those moments where I had to either give up. I could have given up, but I didn't. I could have given up. I could have said, you know what? I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going because there's no reason for me to stop. I just have to listen to what this moment is telling me. Because I may have a plan, but then all of a sudden when things don't go according to that plan, how am I going to react? How am I going to pivot? Or am I just going to give up? In the past, I would have just given up. In the past, I would have just said, oh, forget that plan. It's not worth it. I should have never done it in the first place. Excuse me, I have to clean my camera. But this go round, I understand the importance of being patient, but also not forcing the issue, not forcing myself to be perfect, not forcing myself to hold on too tight to the exact plan. Like if it doesn't, like letting go of perfection. And that's what happened last week, was just me letting go of perfection, because if I didn't, I would have been so miserable. And to me, it worked out so much better, because here I am today. This is my first live stream in the morning. This isn't going to be a formal live stream where I have talking points or anything like that. You guys can answer questions. You guys can ask me questions. You guys can, if you have questions about any content that I've posted, or questions about real estate, transaction coordination, leave them in the comments. I'll be more than glad to answer. But this live stream is more so to be present. Like I said, there aren't any formal talking points or structure. So if I'm looking at my laptop or if I'm working, that's just what I'm doing. Like right now, I have to confirm receipt. I'm also waiting for the garbage people to get here. So I might have to run away and come back during this live stream, because my neighbors have a lot of dogs, and I don't like going in my backyard because of that, and just the smells and everything. So I usually wait until they bring the cans to the front, and then I bring all my trash at that point. But the city has been moving our trash dates, and I've lived here for so long, and it's always been Wednesday nights. Hi, Ari. And for some reason, the past few weeks have been Thursday mornings, but it's after 9 a.m. and no one has gotten here. So I don't know. Yeah. So this live stream, like I said, is going to be very informal. So if I have to run out and take out my trash, just bear with me. Like I said, this is just me showing up, being available for you guys. If you guys need support, or if you guys need, just help in your day, or just need company, because I just sit in this office all day and keep busy. So good morning, TikTok. How's everyone doing on that side of town? I'm also live on YouTube. So if you want to join us on YouTube, come over there. Everything under the name Transaction Care. I appreciate you guys. So if this works out, if this 9 a.m. stream works out, I'll continue to do it. I'm going to do it for the next, I don't know, probably 4 weeks, just to test it out. Then I'll keep it going. I was actually supposed to be traveling this week. Funny enough, that trip got canceled. So that was another reason I wanted to be here for these live streams, is because plans change. I think that's what this theme is becoming, is plans change. Also, we had an earthquake this morning. Yeah, I was doing my morning routine. This is for those that didn't get to hear my story earlier. We had an earthquake, and it was crazy, because I was sitting doing my journal, and then all of a sudden you just hear and then it stopped, and then you just kind of swaying like this, and it slows down. I feel like an NPC. But yeah, we had an earthquake this morning, and I live in San Francisco, so it's kind of normal for me, but it doesn't ever feel, I don't know if normal is the right word, but I guess I'm just used to it. But my heart was still racing after we had that earthquake. I was like, oh my God, okay. The problems I was complaining about in my journal, they weren't that big of a deal after all, because it gets put into perspective immediately when stuff like that happens. And let me actually look up how strong was that earthquake. Let me see. San Francisco. earthquake today. 3.8 magnitude, guys. Okay, 3.8. That's pretty strong. And it actually wasn't located in San Francisco, but I still felt it. I still felt it. It was like a minute of just like, first it was just like one strong jolt, and then just the whoa, swaying part of it. Anyone on here live in the Bay Area or San Francisco? Did you feel it? So it was saying the earthquake was in San Leandro, which is, if you're without traffic, San Leandro is like a 20-minute drive away from San Francisco across the bridge. And we had, yeah, I woke up to an earthquake. I mean, I was already awake, but I was sitting here doing my morning routine, and all of a sudden it just went cray cray. Okay, so what is on today's agenda? What is everyone doing for work today? Yesterday, I inherited a file from a transaction coordinator, and it's someone I've been working with. We're colleagues for sure. But we started at this company together. We're both independent contractors. So she reached out to me yesterday saying that one of the sellers just didn't want to work with her anymore, like randomly. Not because she did anything wrong. Like she just said, are there any other TCs we can work with? And I was like, what? So she emailed me and I said, please call me. We need to talk about this in person. And she called me and she just said, yeah, he was out of nowhere, just wanted to change her. Like he kept asking all these questions. And I was like, he sounds kind of type A. Like it just didn't go his way. So now it's like, maybe he wants someone else that can tell him what to do. I mean, that can tell him yes. Maybe he's type A. Maybe he's wanting to superstition. I don't know. But I'm also up early because I needed to make sure I confirm the email receipt. I'm also covering this person's vacation while she's away. So it's good that her and I are in contact ahead of time, because now I can get a better understanding of, how she works. So if you're ever deciding to cover someone while they go on vacation, don't wait until the last minute. Don't wait until the week that they leave. Like her vacation is in September. Today's August 13th. So I'm doing my due diligence in terms of, hey, what do you need from me? Does the broker know that I'm covering for you? Do I have access to all of your files? Because she said the last time she went on vacation, it didn't happen because she waited to the last minute to switch coverage, to switch over to whoever was covering her to give them access. And she was on vacation and they didn't have access. So I said, this is good that we're talking. This is a good little sample of how this is going to go. But ultimately, don't wait until the last minute if you're going to be covering someone on vacation, or if you need coverage on vacation. Don't wait to find someone at the last minute. Don't wait to set up your systems to accommodate them at the last minute. These are things that should be in place. So if someone were to come into your business and take over, it should be seamless. Maybe a day of training, maybe a few hours of training, but outside of that, it should be very seamless. And because we've been working together, we're in each other's network. I've reached out to her when I've had slow seasons. And, anytime she's had questions, she's reached out to me. And we've just kept in touch. So it's good to keep a network of people, whether you're busy or slow, because you never know when you'll need each other. And this is one of those times where she needs me the most. And I'm grateful that I could come through and help her, whether I want to or not. Deep down, I would much rather not work on this transaction, but I said yes because I knew I could do it. And, I didn't want to deny any blessings that were coming my way. So, yeah. Have you guys done any vacation coverage in your business? And are you guys transaction coordinators? Do you work in real estate? Do you work in business? Let me know. Also, let me know how I can help you guys. I'm just working right now. I'm getting my stuff set up. So right now, what today? Thursday. So today's Thursday. I'm actually going to an event at 11 o'clock. So I'm not going to stay on here too long. But today, I just want to clean up my emails. So it's kind of like a slower season right now. It's a slower week. I would say the past 3 weeks were like a, a roller coaster. Prior to that, it was just super quiet, not much going on. And then today, like that, um, see, I haven't had my vitamins. I don't eat breakfast till 11. And I'm usually not live around these times. I'm kind of like not in my right mind. And because I don't have talking points is another reason why I tend to like having talking points because it keeps me focused versus just being on here freestyling the whole thing. But um, what I'm trying to say is when it comes to working in real estate, it fluctuates. And you may have seasons and periods depending on how many clients you have that are actively working and producing transactions where it just feels like you're running a marathon at full speed. But then there's also moments when you stop and there's just not much going on. So anytime I have downtime, anytime I have a slower season in my business or in that week, I take things one day at a time, 1 week at a time. Thank you, Ari, for all the likes. I appreciate that. But I take my day and my business one day at a time because if I don't do the work that's in front of me for today, and if I just let it pile up just because I'm having a slower week or a quieter week, eventually you never know when things are going to pop off. Like yesterday or today could be just email inbox cleanup, you know, making sure all the loose ends are tied. And then tomorrow I might wake up to 10 new transactions and then I'll be bound to my desk all day. You just never know with real estate. I mean, right now I can kind of predict what's going to come across my desk and what's not because I only work with one team and then one other realtor outside of that team. So I'm not managing a lot of people, or I'm not managing a lot of realtors or transactions. So I have a general idea of what I can anticipate. So even then, it's still going to be, it's still going to take up a lot of time when those people do become active again. And when you're working on listings, those can take forever. Listings take forever. I just started incorporating a listing retainer fee for my listings because too many of these listings were sitting on the market and I was spending hours just working on listings and not getting paid for months, for months. And I tried my hardest to just endure it. But after a while, I said something has to give because if I'm only working on listings and I have to wait 6 months to a year plus for them to close, I need to get a piece of I need to get paid for the pieces of the work that I have done. Otherwise, I'm just going to be making no money. And that's what was happening earlier this year. I wasn't making any money. And last year, I mean, 2025, I was barely making any money because I was working on majority listings. And it wasn't computing in my brain because I was so busy and distracted by all of this work that when I looked up, I was like, where's all my money? Like, where's the money? Why am I not? It's tricky. It can play mind tricks on you because when you're self-employed and you're doing all of this upfront work and the pay isn't guaranteed, why do I do this to myself? Even as I'm saying this out loud, I'm like, why have I continuously tortured myself for decades? But what I'm getting at is it's all unpredictable when you're self-employed. And a lot of the work I do is upfront. I love working with buyer's agents because they come in with ratified contracts and in sometimes 7 days. The quickest close I ever had was 3 days, but 7, 21, 30 days are usually the standard time frames for closing. So I can look ahead. I don't count my money. I do not count money. No matter, even if the deal is ratified, all contingencies are removed and it's the day before closing, I do not count any money that is coming my way. I've done that too many times, and then at the last minute a deal falls apart. People change their minds, or I would need that money today, but then it doesn't show up in my inbox because of a glitch, or maybe they didn't submit payment on time and it's the weekend. So now I'm not getting my money until Tuesday. So when you're self-employed, you have to manage these types of situations in anticipation of you not getting paid, or not getting paid on time, or just complete, extended, or just extended delays in payment. And maybe that's made me more resilient. Maybe that's made me more accustomed to this lifestyle. So, because I definitely have, I haven't worked a 9 to 5 where I've had a consistent paycheck for over 8 years. And in these past 8 years, I would say the past 2 years, the past 2 years have been the most different, because I've been pivoting. And for those that are wanting to pivot into a new career or a new industry, it's going to take time. It's going to take time, and it's definitely going to require or depend on your, like, the amount of effort and time you're investing in it. It doesn't mean sit at your desk all day for 8 hours as proof that you're putting in the work. It's like, no, your work has to be aimed at a certain target. Like, your efforts have to be aimed at a certain target versus just always throwing things at a wall. Like, spend a whole week throwing things at the wall, but at the end of the week, review your work. What was moving the needle and what was holding me back? So then that following week, double down on what was working, take away the things that weren't working so well, and then just keep refining your plan. And that's what I've been doing with other projects and things that I've been doing more of, like content or coaching, training, mentoring. Even with my transaction coordinator business, I have let go of so many clients over the years, to the point where when my team that I work with is not having a busy season, I can feel it. Whereas when I was working with like two to three teams at a time, I didn't really have time to feel when they were having a slower season, because if one team was doing well and the other one wasn't, I was always doing something. So keeping busy is great and distracting yourself. But if my goal is to no longer do transaction coordination in the next, by 2027, how am I guaranteeing, or at least giving myself more of a chance for the other parts of my business to work out? So that's been on my plate lately, is learning how to make money outside of transaction coordination, learning how to be better at sales. That's definitely a weakness of mine, is I'm not good at sales. I think I'm good at sales to an extent. I think I'm great at marketing. I think I'm great at telling people what I'm doing. I think I'm great at promoting my live stream events and stuff like that. I think I'm good at keeping in touch with people and following up and following through. But when it comes to actually making sales, I don't know. Do you guys have any recommendations on like courses I could take, or people I could reach out to help with the sales part of it all? Because I'm not good at that. I'm not good at asking people for money, considering I've been self-employed, but just the way my business has been set up over all these years, um, I've been very blessed in not having to ask, because it's all referral based. It's all been just coming in from the people I've just been working with all this time. So I never really had to challenge myself or be out in the forefront in terms of sales or asking people for money or selling products. And I've tried. I created workbooks, I created membership programs, I created coaching programs. And I think my problem was, one, I never budgeted for ads. I think ads, they work. Ad space works, but you can't only invest $20 and expect that to turn around. And, maybe, but if you're going to invest in ads, that alone is its own like people hire departments for for people to purchase ads and whatnot. So that's its own job in itself to maintain. But I think not purchasing ad space this whole time has hurt me. I also think giving up too soon has hurt me, because like I said, last year I made these workbooks and I never really told a lot. Like, I wasn't consistent in telling people about my workbooks. I didn't believe that I could sell it. So I think also my mindset about selling these products, because I gave up so quickly, because I got discouraged the first week they didn't sell, I gave up. So I'm changing that now. If you are a member of my TC community, you get access to the workbook. And now, looking in hindsight, I'm I'm realizing, oh, maybe that workbook wasn't meant to be sold. I think if it was meant to be sold in any way, it was more so to be I'm pinning it in the chat. I think it was meant to be more better served or given versus sold. Meaning, for those that do sign up for the membership plan, which is you do have to invest money, you get the workbook. And that has worked best for me. And I posted the workbook. I relaunched my community in May, and I said, this time it's going to work. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to focus on the money. I'm not going to focus on the numbers. I have to focus on getting consistent with making this a part of my lifestyle. And that's where I fell short a lot of the times with launching coaching programs and businesses and trying to sell products, trying to sell merch. I forgot about the merch. I have merch that flopped. I remember I didn't even have the money back then. This was like 2022. Yeah, I think 2022 or 23. I remember I was debating, if I should create t-shirts or merch. Then all of a sudden, I think I got my tax refund. I forgot how I got this like lump sum of money. And something in me was like, oh, it's time, create the merch. And mind you, this is like the first year I was a little bit consistent with my YouTube channel. It wasn't even where it is today. I wasn't even where I am today mentally and emotionally. So I remember buying this merch. I went to a manufacturer. I created the logos. I did everything, a brand would do when they're selling their clothing line. I had a tech pack. I'm certified, and I took a clothing brand course. I got certified through Parsons. And I was feeling myself. I was thinking, oh yeah, I can do this. My merch is going to pop off. I'm going to sell all these shirts. Everyone's going to want one. I go to the manufacturer. I go pick up the box. I'm vlogging about it. I'm so pumped because now I'm doing all the things I saw other people doing. So I was kind of just copying them instead of being authentic to myself and really listening to my budget and really listening to my bank account that was screaming at me to stop spending money. But I was looking at it as like, oh, this is going to be an investment in the company. This is going to be an investment in the company. This is going to be an investment in the company. That was the only logical reasoning I had for that purchase. So I go pick up the shirts. I give some out to my family. I keep some for myself because I also was treating it as my uniform. So every time you guys see me in those black transaction care t-shirts, those were the t-shirts that I tried to sell. And I put them up. I created a Shopify store. I did everything correct. And then when it came time to get people to buy the shirts, no one bought them ever. Like not one single person bought them. I gave them out to people that were I've just wanted to give them out to. So I would ship them out to random people, in the transaction coordination real estate industry. I just have kept them all here in my house. I still have some wrapped up in plastic, ready to ship. My Shopify, I reactivated my Shopify store because they had a 3-month sale to keep your Shopify store open for $1 versus the $30 that it actually costs a month to maintain their Shopify store. And I said, dang, this flopped, but what did it teach me? Okay, so there's opportunity and a lesson in everything. Not everything has to be done all at once. Also, what were the benefits of me having those t-shirts? I get a uniform. So now people, brand awareness. So like I said, I'm still good at marketing. So even though the shirts didn't sell and I still have a bunch here at my house, it's okay because it's a reminder of, where I was and where I'm going. But also, I didn't like the logo. The logo on the front, I didn't design. And that's the other thing. I paid a lot of money to hire someone to do this basic I just wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed with it at all. But when the person was making it, I was such a people pleaser. I was just like, oh yeah, it's cool. That works. Let's move on to the next project instead of giving real feedback. And that bit me in the behind. So every time I looked at the shirt, I'd say, dang, like, I don't like this logo, but it is what it is. I have 600 shirts I had 50 shirts that I can't get rid of at this point, and I paid $600 for them. Yeah, I lost a lot of money in the very beginning. So I think that's why now I'm a lot more timid and rigid and scared, and I'm trying to get over those fears and those feelings because scared money don't make money, okay? But I realized, okay, this can serve as like my everyday uniform in my videos, which is great because now I don't have to shop for clothes, and builds brand awareness. People are aware in all of my content. It will always say transaction care somewhere. Then it taught me, okay, next go around, if I ever have to encounter this, then it won't be so bad because now I understand what I need to do. I think for me, I need to just get a smaller inventory, perhaps a shirt that's a different color, not just black. Like my colors are blue. So maybe I'll do blue with the yellow, and I have a new logo now, which I'm pumped about. I did that one myself and I created that one. So I realized, okay, when I do shirts again, I don't have to go to a manufacturer. I have my own heat press, printer. I could just start there. And if people like the shirt, then I can go to a manufacturer and invest more money and invest there. Maybe do pre-orders versus just flat out sales. Do pre-orders to gauge, okay, how many people are going to want these shirts, and then place my order. Will there be delays? Will people not get their shirts right away? Yes. But this is all a part of testing the market and getting better, improving my habits and things like that. So that's something I realized that I needed to do. And that's how I became better at entrepreneurship, being better at business. But when it comes to the sales aspect of things, I'm still lost. I'm still struggling in that area. Ads are great because it's passive. I can just spend the money. I mean, I need money first to spend, but once the budget opens up, that can just be passive and in the background. I don't have to think about it too much unless it's not working and I just have to revise it, using different keywords and whatnot. But outside of that, the next, I think, step I need to take is towards getting better at sales. I think my issue with sales is sometimes it just feels so icky. And I know that sounds childish, but it just really does feel gross when I have all these discovery calls with people that aren't working, with people that have lost their job, with people that are stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home parents. and just need to make a little bit of money. And here I go trying to sell them a $1,200 coaching program. It just doesn't sit well with me. And I don't know if that's because I care or because I'm just not used to asking people for money, but I've also realized that it's okay to change my mind. It's okay to not stick to one thing and I continuously hit this wall and it's not working. It's okay to pivot and change my mind and say, you know what? So for people that are unemployed, okay, you can watch my free YouTube. I go live. I have a community you can join. I have an email newsletter. It's all accessible to anyone out there that wants to learn about real estate transaction coordination, especially my YouTube. My YouTube channel has hundreds of videos, training videos, coaching videos, inspirational videos, like everything. Honestly, like over $1 million worth of free game. So I have to remind myself that when I do ask for money, I think I just need to fix my target. Remember earlier I said my efforts need to be aimed at the right target? Yeah, same thing applies for me. Just because I'm saying it doesn't mean it's happening, So let me write that down as well, because that's a good, see, that's another topic that we can get into. Our efforts have to be aimed at the right target. So what does that mean? It means, okay, do I know my target customer, my ideal customer, my customer avatar? Is it a person? Is it a group of people? Who is it that I'm wanting to pay me, right? I could just say women. That's one element, but okay, I keep attracting women that aren't working, that don't have money. So now I think I also have to get over my discomfort of only wanting, because it's not that I only want to work with people that have money. And I'm working this out in real time with you guys here on the live stream. So if you're watching the replay, this is really how my brain works. This is really what I go through when the cameras aren't on and I'm sitting here in my office, or I go for a walk, or I'm journaling. But this go around, I cannot, and I refuse to stay complacent in my efforts. So because I haven't been aiming my efforts in the right direction, I can't go another 6 months when I should be aiming over here and I'm looking this way. You see what I'm saying? So is there an area in your life as well that maybe your efforts are just aimed at the wrong target and we need to reassess the situation, regroup, redirect? I'm sure we all have been there or are going through that right now. So if that is you, what are some gradual changes that we could make to get that shift going in the right direction? It's the same with like flying a plane. I believe it's flying a plane. Don't quote me, but they were saying like the slightest shift in the direction that the plane goes is the difference between a plane leaving Texas and going to San Francisco or New York. The slightest shift of a flight is supposed to go to New York, but if the plane is geared and just the slightest is off by the slightest decibel, you may end up in San Francisco. And I think that's what a lot of us are going through right now is like, we know where we need to aim our efforts at. We know who we need to aim our efforts at. But for some reason, we just keep getting off target. We keep getting off path through distractions, not checking in, not being patient enough. And I have fallen victim to all of that. I still do. This is another reason why I'm going live, is because I can talk to you all about these things while also actively doing the things I said I was going to do. I've been wanting to do more live streaming for years, but I never did it because I was too afraid that no one would show up, that I couldn't endure weeks and weeks of 0 people in the chat. You know what I mean? And once I overcame that fear and those doubts, and I said, screw it, I'm going to show up anyway, because one, the replay will exist. People will watch the replay. Not everyone's going to be available when I'm available. So, boom, that solved that issue. But two, this is going to help me be prepared for when more people show up. So, for example, I launched my Tuesday live streams back in the end of April, but for sure in May. So from May to now in August, I went from 0 to one person for a few weeks, to the past couple of weeks, we've had 5 to 10 people in there consistently. That's a huge leap from April, let's just say May, June, July, and the 4th month. Took 4 months for me to get a little bit of traction at that time slot. The way I was operating was, no, you get 4 minutes. If it doesn't work the first time, it's trash. But this is something I'm passionate about. This is something I feel a calling and a push towards doing. So because today is the first time I've introduced this 9 a.m. slot, maybe it won't take me 4 months, but maybe it'll take me 4 weeks this time. But I'm more than prepared for either situation, because I understand I just have to show up no matter if there's a crowd or not, because this is going to benefit myself, for me now in real time, but it's going to benefit someone later during the replay. So whatever I needed to say that day, I need to just say it, regardless of who's listening or watching in real time. So if you're someone that's concerned about no one showing up, or no one buying your services, no one buying your products, give yourself 3 months. 1, 2, 3. Okay? 3 months of solid commitment. No expectations. Don't focus on the outcome. Give it your all. Give that product all you have. Have a plan, but also be willing to pivot. And in those first 3 months, focus all your effort at the right target. But in order to know who your target is, you need to write it down. Who is the person I'm trying to attract? And I'm going to do this as well. I'm going to log out of here pretty soon, but I'm going to do that myself. So I want that to be the closing assignment, homework, if you will. Who is your ideal customer or customers? You can have multiple customer avatars, but don't just fill out the don't just create a customer avatar and then go talk to the opposite person. No. If you build out your customer avatar, create content and talk to that person every day. I'm going to do that when I go live. I'm going to go live again tonight, you guys, at around between 8:30 and 9 p.m. So in about 12 hours, I'll be live again. Replay. Thank you so much. You guys are keeping me motivated and inspired. I know this is something that is just now growing from the bottom up, but we're growing from experience, not, completely at the bottom. But right now, I think let's focus on aiming our efforts at the right target. Okay. So with that said, go create your customer avatars, create your products, your services, and then have those two join forces and start creating your marketing plan, whether you're going to do content, ads, person to person, events, go for it. You're still going to attract people that aren't in your customer avatar, which is fine. But I'm just saying, if we be on a certain group of people, it'll be less overwhelming trying to help everyone. And I'm going to go take my own advice, and I'm going to take a deep breath. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to work on my customer avatars. I'm going to work on my target audience and redirect my efforts so we can continue to learn and grow together, but also expand and develop and improve. So thank you guys for watching. My name is Lillian Hernandez, but you can call me Lily, like the flower. I release new videos every week. I go live every week. I'm now introducing another day of live streaming. So 2 days of live streaming a week is the goal now. 3 times a week, if you technically count. I'm going live Tuesdays and Thursdays, but on Thursdays at different times in the morning and at night. My newsletter goes out every Thursday, so make sure you sign up for that. Everything lives at transactioncare.com, my website. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, just schedule a free discovery call with me so we can see what it is you actually need. What is your budget? What is your timeline? I work with everyone's budgets and timelines, so don't worry if you don't have the budget right now. We'll figure something out. And thank you to everyone that's been in here. Thank you to those that were on TikTok. Thank you, Ari, so much for all of the likes. We got 5.5 billion likes today. That is amazing. My phone is actually in desperate need of a charging. So thank you so much for being in the live stream on TikTok, Ari. I'll catch you on the next one. I appreciate all the hard work you put into liking today's live stream. It doesn't go unnoticed. Don't forget to message me if you need a discovery call, if you need to, chat about what we talked about today and put it into an actual game plan so we can know our next steps, which is important, is knowing your next steps, because I think that's where a lot of us get lost and overwhelmed, is because we know the big plan, but we don't know what steps to take. And believe it or not, you have the power and the control to create those next steps for yourself. So let's get to work. Let's enjoy the day. I will check back in with you guys tonight. So turn on your post notifications and set your alerts. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, just visit my website, Transaction Care. Everything is in my profile. Just go click that and make sure you're following and subscribe. Subscribe and follow. Thank you guys so much here. My community. Appreciate you guys. This has been another live stream. My name is Lillian Hernandez. And until the next one, care for yourself, care for your wealth. Your time is worth it. Let's coordinate. Talk soon.